Alright, basic multi-track editing that I do is once I have them all, what I do is shrink the width of each track so that they fit on the screen. I've already done it here, but it's just a matter of going down to the end and sliding it up or down. You can make them wider if you want. I shrink them until all of them are visible on the screen, and it helps me so I can see gaps coming up. So now that I've done that, let me jump to the beginning and Control 2 to make it larger on the width. So the next thing is going to be editing out something somebody says, right, without throwing off the sync. So if this here, say this is just side talk and it doesn't need to be in the episode, if I just delete it, everything is going to shift. Alright, so now this whole track is out of sync with everybody else. So I can just take it and hit the silence up here, and that deletes it, but now I have gaps anyway. So one thing I do is if you want to delete something and you have silence everywhere else, just highlight everything. All tracks are highlighted, then delete it, and everything shifts. You maintain the sync. The next thing would be if multi-people are talking at the same time. I have a small example of that up here. Right, I don't know what these people are saying here, but I want to be able to hear each of them separately. And you can start by generating silence everywhere, but the easy thing to do is to move space. I'm going to highlight this bit of time, which is a little over half a second. I'm going to cut it and then paste it right on the other side. So the track doesn't shift the time, it's just this bit of dialogue moves over, but the time is maintained over here. And you can do that with bunches as long as you don't delete the space but cut it and repaste it either beginning or afterwards. You're maintaining the sync of everything else. Some cases there's no silence nearby to manipulate, so you can just generate it. Go track by track, generate silence. So now I have more silence on every single track that I can then take some from here and then paste it back here so that the sync of everything else afterwards is maintained. Audacity is already good for truncating silence across multi-track. Just highlight everything, Control A, truncate silence, make sure that this truncate independently is not checked, and it will scan everything and maintain the gap. So if you have a second, it'll only cut a second if there's a second between anything on all of them, and then it'll take it out of them altogether. So for example, you won't be able to see it on the other ones here, but since I have over a second of space here and here, if I truncate silence, it'll look like this comes closer and this comes closer, but everything else will also move closer. Oh, it's going to take forever. I didn't think about that. I haven't done any editing on this yet, so never mind. But that's how it'll work. Anyway, I hope that helps a little bit.